Stefon Diggs, not really. The vibes have been weird in Buffalo. You see the first season he was with Buffalo, he's looking in Josh Allen's eyes, and people are like, wow, I wish I had someone who looked at Josh Allen the way Stefon Diggs does. Because when you move on from Case Keenum and Kirk Cousins to Josh Allen, wow, life gets really good. And then you realize, wait, it's the Buffalo Bills. Sean McDermott can't make adjustments. Josh Allen's throwing a lot of interceptions. He's turning the ball over when I'm wide open. He's
I'm
not
buried in
hitting.
snow.
I'm buried in snow. He's not hitting me here. And then Buffalo is basically Canada at this point. So Stephon Diggs is someone who could be on the move. Could you see a situation where the Raiders and the Bills are like, hey, can I trade my problem for your problem? And then we all get along. We can all be happy.
Yeah, I think if I'm the Bills, I wouldn't want to do that necessarily. I would want to go younger because Stephon Diggs will be 31. I believe Davante is a little bit older than him. But at the end of the day, like, if that's what's going to solve that problem, I think Davante is a little bit more. He has less of an ego, I feel like, than maybe Stephon Diggs does. I think Stephon Diggs would do better in a Vegas setting than Davante. I've always felt like that fit was weird. So I think, I mean, if that's a plausible deal for them and that works out salary cap wise, then I think, why not?
Yeah, I think that could potentially fit out, but I do see Stephon Diggs being on the move this offseason. I just think someone is going to want him. Someone's going to go out there and trade for him, but I do think he's going to want to go to a contender this year. And then we also have AJ Brown, who is unfollowing the Eagles. During that playoff run, didn't end up playing versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with the injury, but he had some choice words on social media to say about Jalen Hurts, talking about, I don't want to see another inspirational quote on your Instagram. If you keep playing like dog shit, I'll be with number 4 in Dallas, even though they don't have any money to afford me and have to pay CeeDee Lamb and Micah Parsons upcoming here. But AJ Brown, Stephon Diggs, Devontae Adams on the move here. Could you see all three of those guys getting traded? And then we also had someone like blanking on his name here in San Francisco. Brandon Ayuk. Sorry. Yeah, I kept thinking of Nelson Aguilar for some reason. But Brandon Ayuk also posted, don't forget who brought you here. He's looking for a new contract here. You have someone like Debo who's aging. You have someone like George Kittle who couldn't stay healthy towards the end of that Super Bowl game. If you're San Fran, are you leaning towards trading Debo Samuel and keeping Brandon Ayuk, and then you have that young stable of receivers here?
See, I think that they probably should move off of Debo Samuel in this case. But I think if I'm Brandon Ayuk, I see myself where, Debo's been sidelined. And when he is sidelined, I've been one of the best players in the league. I feel like he's got an opportunity similar to T. Higgins where he can go somewhere else, get that contract he wants, and be that number one and show why he is as good as he is. So if I'm Brandon Ayuk, I say, no, don't trade Debo. Trade me. I want to go somewhere. We saw the blowback that Christian Kirk had when he signed with the Jags for the amount that he did. And then that ended up panning out. And Christian Kirk showed that he is a solid receiver. And then, similar idea. Like if you can go somewhere, maybe it's a place like Tennessee or who has Will Levis and they want to elevate the receiver core. You can go there. Maybe it's a team. God, I hate to use their name again, but God, that P word, the Carolina Panthers, a team that has no receivers. He goes there with Bryce Young. Maybe they actually get an offensive line, and maybe the coach that they hired is just fine. The OC from the Buccaneers, maybe they elevate their game. But like, if I'm Brandon Ayuk, I want to be the number one because I show that I can be the number one.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the one who's on the move there.
Yeah, I would definitely see Brandon Ayuk being like, no, pause. I can go ahead, be the star there. And then Debo Samuel, it's so sentimental because if you move on from Debo, he kind of reinvented the wheel at wide receiver when they started putting him in the backfield. He's like a tight end, running back receiver rolled into one. So I could see like emotionally the 49ers having a hard time moving on from him with Ayuk. He's like, let me do my own thing here. I want to be the missing piece for Indianapolis. I want to be a missing piece for a team like Atlanta, a team like the Commanders who can go out there and pay me an absolute bag. I want to go play with Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Drake May, and be like, I'm the guy that kind of helped this guy come up there. So I could see that happening.